And so the first question, or the first thing that I want you to look at is, let's take a look at those images of the fish. And when you take a look at those images, there's some variations within the fish. So I'd like you to identify a couple of variations. And then at first I want you to write this down. Are these guppies part of the same species, or are they different species? So what do you think based upon your observations? Take 60 seconds and let's record the responses. And if you could just label them number 1 and number 2 on you could label them number 1 and 2, please. Physical barrier. What environmental factors differ between the two pools in the picture here? So as you respond to this one, I'd like you to refer to the left picture and the right picture. So what would be some differences, either non-living factors or living factors that may be different between the two areas? Go ahead and type those in, please. Let's take a few more moments. Let's try to identify at least a couple differences, and then I want you to have a table discussion about that. Let's have a brief table discussion in about 15, 20 seconds. So if you could turn to your elbow partner, and either your elbow partner or if you're in a group of 3, if you could have that discussion. What are some differences that you observed between the left side stream and the right side stream? So let's go ahead and have that conversation. I'm going to give you 30 seconds for each person, okay? Ready and go.
Okay, the left picture is more linear, and fish can be easily stepped on if you're like walking. And the second one is more free, and they can roam around and have space
For that, we can see that in the right picture, the fish have more space available to them than the fish in the left picture. And in the left picture, it's way more.
The one on the right is more like gravel and dirt.
Okay, let's switch again to someone else if you haven't had a chance to share.
Like
Go ahead.
it's more of like a forest on the left, and then the right side is more of like there's very little trees. Like it's out in the open, while the one on the left is more inside like a biome already.
And Catherine, what did you say?
That this one has like more passion, like more polluted, and this has like a more clear stream.
Okay. Okay. Is there any non-physical difference that you can see between the two sides?
This one's smaller.
Okay, the size. Okay. Okay, did everybody get a chance to share? Okay, so what's one difference? What's one difference? Go ahead. At this table, what did you say? Okay, size difference. Which one's bigger or smaller? Okay, so there's more space here versus over here. It seems like it's maybe a little bit smaller. What else? What did you say? Okay, maybe the number of predators. Okay. We can't really see predators here, but there could be a difference. Okay, so anything that it could be. What did you say in the back there? Okay, let's choose one more. One more item, and then we're going to come back and discuss. should you have at least 3 items selected. Yeah, so what increased though? What? Like what factors increased? That's what I'm asking you to do. Okay? So, what's this? Black what? No, black spots. Oh, right. What's this? Red spots. All right. So let's bring it back together. Let's interpret the data and see what he found out. So if we take a look at spot length, there are several different spots: black, red, blue, iridescent, and then all spots collectively. What was observed? What was observed about spots? Well, we heard from Ashley. What did you say?
The more the length of the spots increase, like when they move the guppies to the different population.
When they moved the guppies to where?
To the transfer population.
To the transfer, to the weak predator, right? So when they moved them away from the pike cyclid to the weak predator, what happened to the spots?
They increase.
They increased. Did just one spot color increase, or did all of them increase across the board? All of them increased, right? See that? Increase, increase, and so on. What about what else? What else changed? Go ahead.
Like how big the spots were, and that was way bigger after the transfer.
Yeah, the size of the spots increased. What was it before? What was the average size of the spot? Or the average area, excuse me. About 5, and afterwards, what was the average area of the spots? Almost 12, right? That's a pretty dramatic change in the population, in the weak predator side. Okay, and then one more factor. What's another factor besides that? Go ahead.
The number of population went up.
What's that?
The number of population went up.
Okay, so what is this? The number of what? It's not the number of population. It's the number of.
The transfer population.
Yeah, but what are they observing? The number of what? This is actually the number of spots. So the number of spots on the guppy increased as well. Okay? So let's take a look at, and let's see if we can summarize those into one final conclusion. So taking a look at the data as a whole, which of the following statements would best summarize what Endler discovered in those guppies in Trinidad? Everybody to choose here. Almost 26. We all in? There we go. And let's take a look. Okay. So, A, there was no significant difference before and after. Is that true? No, we saw a pretty big difference. There was a significant increase in spot color, average size, and spot diversity. Is that true? Do we see an increase? Okay, and so in those two, I think, was the spot color increase, was it in the transfer population or was it in the original population? It was in the transferred population. Why did we see that increase? The predator is weak. Excellent, right? So this is what evolutionary change looks like. This is what we see as a result of the change. Can an individual guppy change its spots? Can an individual guppy change its spots? By itself? No, right? But the population changes over time in response to a selective pressure. Okay, and so as we discuss and get into evolution, we'll see some examples of how this plays out. Excellent job. Let's go ahead and